In this video I'm going to show you how to use the HoliRisk tool for risk identification and analysis. We start by creating a context which represents the focus of the risk management process. In this case we are going to create a context kitchen as it is part of the house which we are evaluating. Within a context several instances can be created. A model instance is a set of all the actual objects created in the risk management process. So after we fill the description for this model instance, we are going to select the house model, which is the one we created, and we can import default values or import this data from Excel files. After we save it, we can see it on the table, and once we select it, we can add new objects of the type assets, vulnerabilities, etc. So I'm just going to add a new asset here. I'm going to call it window. It is going to have a value medium and the color white, and the material is glass. In the bottom we can see a table where free properties can be entered by simply adding a name and a value. In this case we are going to say that the window has a size of 80 by 120 centimeters. Now I'm going to create additional objects to enrich this example. Now that we've created some vulnerabilities, we can go to the assets and assign them to each asset. An asset can have any number of vulnerabilities. As we can see here, I'm going to create a new consequence, which is the window breaks consequence, which is connected to the birds fly against the window event. This will automatically create a risk, which is windows breaks due to birds fly against the window, as you can see in the example. After this risk is created, we can edit it and choose its severity and association with asset and vulnerability. Finally, we can start to create controls to mitigate the risk. In this example, we have the asset door that has the vulnerability of becoming inflammable and is triggered by the event fire in the kitchen. All of this leads to the consequence of the door catching fire, which consequently creates the risk of the door catches fire due to fire in the kitchen. So we have to create a control to protect the door with an anti-fire paint. A control can be of the type likelihood, exposure, or consequence. Here we are going to associate with the exposure, and with the vulnerability door is inflammable, which is going to lower its exposure to low. I'm just going to add another control for the other risks so the example becomes more complete. Once the controls are set, we can create policies, which basically are groups of controls. This work was partially supported by the Timbus project, which is co-funded by the European Union.